Hey guys and gals, what's up, what's up? Welcome back to Channels Maverick here with episode 7 of Shaman King. So, last episode, Yo got his first win in the preliminaries, and now he is on to his second fight. And to be honest, out of the 3 fights, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most, because it's a little bit different from the other fights, which will hopefully we will get to see within the episode, right? If I were to put it in one way, I'd say this really would set the tone for the rest of the anime as well. In fact, I actually forgot how this fight went down in the original anime, but all I can say is, within the manga and whatnot, I feel like this might be the first episode or the first chapter, where we feel like, this is really, even though the characters seem very cartoonish and whatnot, it's really much more of a, it's definitely not an anime or a manga suitable for kids, right? And I mean kids as in, like, elementary schoolers and so on and so forth. So, I don't know if they are going to continue with the more cartoonish kind of appeal, or they are going to stick more so in terms of the manga, the look and feel of the manga, which is substantially darker in tone compared to the original anime. So, with that in mind, let's get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, we're starting from here, eh? Okay. Hey. You know what? I'm just gonna out and say it. I like necromancers. Diablo 2, anyone? One of my favorite games of all time. I always enjoyed the necromancer character. And I enjoy light novels and web novels that feature characters that use abilities similar to necromancer. I mean, yeah, I get it, Overlord and all that, but I mean those that are even those in the technically good side, I guess you'd say. And of course, we gotta go with the stereotypes, right? House the 8th. Faust the 8th. If anything, this was a manga released in the 90s, right? Wait, was it 90s? Or actually 2000s, sorry. So they use a lot of the, in traditional manga and anime and whatnot for Japanese, they will have these stereotypical characters. Like, for instance, the Tao family, right? How they dress and whatnot. And Faust as well, you got this maniacal, maniacal doctor, basically. And we'll see and like the Patch Tribe, right? Which is obviously, drawing inspiration from Native Americans in the US. Which we'll get to in the future, right? Why it looks like that. And even more so, the stuff that later comes out. Man, I can't wait until we get to, like, the X laws and all that stuff. Alright. Right. I guess I kind of gave that away, but, like this mad doctor, right? It's gotta be German. Of course it's gotta be German. Eh. This guy is no joke. Although, again, they are quite, they are actually getting through this really, really quickly. Ew. Yeah, they're really getting right into it. Oh, they seriously. Dang, they censored all of it. Yeah, I do feel like the. I mean. Yeah, like, if you're just watching this for the first time, you're basically like, what happened? Oh, 19. Yeah, so basically what happened was Faust was not kidding when he made that incision, right? He actually completely opened up Manta's chest there. It's a lot more. It's a lot more prominently displayed within the manga. Basically, his entire chest was opened up, and you could see like the rib cage and the lungs and all that. Like really gruesome stuff. And then Yo really got angry once he saw Manta's, chest cavity being opened like that. Although honestly, if he just used that time to quickly, knock Faust unconscious, we wouldn't be having this battle. Okay. It seems that they are going to be, they're going to end this at about, like, 2/3 of the episode. Yeah, this battle actually went on a lot longer than, than before. And basically the reason, I'm not sure, I'm not sure if they're going to, explain that. Yeah. And that's why Yo is such a loner. Although honestly, who can shun such a chill dude, right? Although I guess, you know, young kids probably don't really have the concept of being chill. and it's just and it's just outing Yo in front of everyone. Hey, Eliza. I mean, it should be quite obvious. Like, there's only a few candidates for that question. So I guess they aren't going to explain, but I think I don't need to explain it right now either. I'll explain more a little bit about Faust after after we get to the end of this episode. There's a reason why he's got the drip on him. Right. And that one is because basically when people who use oversouls are fighting, it's not the actual object that's doing damage. It's the soul energy, the furyoku around it. So they are actually. Let's see. We're at the halfway point here. See, they basically just gave it away, right? Eliza Faust. Now, why would she be called Faust, eh? Hey, tit for tat. You know, the smart thing to do here would probably be for Anna to take Manta to the hospital immediately, right? And allow Yo to continue fighting Faust. And then, hey, we got Silva there. Nothing's gonna happen to Yo. Tit for tat. Ooh, sick burn. Okay, it's quite obvious. There's basically only three kinds of answers here, right? Either his wife, his sister, or his mother. And she's definitely looking too young to be his mother. I do wonder one thing though. Mm, well, actually, never mind. I was going to comment on them rushing through this. While for us people, us old fans who already know these characters and what happens, right? It's a way of skipping through the technically less entertaining things. But I do wonder, for newcomers, will this entire skipping of the buildup of the characters have a negative influence, right? But then again, even back in the manga, it wasn't entirely built up so well. I mean, it's 2 out of 3, right? Yeah, by removing some like intermittent scenes here, I do feel like the entire pacing is really really weird. Yeah, so typically, this kind of scene is supposed to happen after everything with Faust is dealt with, right? Mop up, have the aftermath and whatnot, allow him to leave the scene, so on and so forth. And then we get this kind of, Kuyashi! Although, actually, now that I think about it, I think this is also what happened. Yeah, this is actually also what happened in the manga as well. But even at that time, I was kind of like thinking, what about Faust? Guess what? And of course, they gotta have him on a horse as well. Like I said, the stereotypes, right? Obviously, like I'm pretty sure like Lubu is probably one of the inspirations for his abilities and character. But anyways, see you guys after this. Well, alright guys, that is our first encounter with Faust and a sneak peek of Ren here. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit disappointed by this episode. It seems that they are gonna go for a continuation of the original anime, and that is where they really make it a lot more kid-friendly, right, compared to the original work. I mean, I've said it before, the original manga honestly is quite dark in a lot of the themes. You got murders galore, you got a lot of blood as well. Maybe not quite gore, but it's bloody enough, right? You got like limbs flying off, people being stabbed, pierced, lots of blood, that kind of stuff, right? And they really glossed over a lot of those things within the original anime, and it seems that they're doing the same here as well, right? The scene with Manta there is a prime example of this. Once again, within the original manga, the scene with Manta there, we really do see Faust opening up his, basically making an incision and completely opening up his chest there. That's why they had to bandage him up near the end there once they regot control of Manta, and he was in quite a dire situation actually, because he's literally his entire his entire chest is open, right? And so on and so forth. Now, obviously, Faust is actually a doctor, so he's not going to make it in a way where, blood spilling everywhere and whatnot, but still, it's quite bloody and in fact, a little bit gory, right? What he did there. And then also later on, this is actually one of those fights where you really feel the impact. And what I'm saying here is that when Yo got enraged and started fighting against Faust, and indeed landing some direct hits on Faust, well, actually Faust's oversoul does not help strengthen his own body, right? His body is still that of a normal human. So he took the full force of Yo's attacks, his oversoul powered attacks there. So he basically broke bones, tore ligaments and so on and so forth. And it's really he broke quite a few bones and got into pretty bad shape there. Now the reason that he was unaffected by it is because his entire body is actually drugged up with morphine, and that's where you see those Basically, what happened is that once he did get severely injured by Yo, he basically did an emergency operation on himself directly there on the battlefield. He can do open surgery right on himself and do blood transfusions and all that. He doesn't in any way feel this because his entire body is perpetually drugged on morphine, so he feels no pain absolutely at all. As long as he is still conscious, he is able to patch himself up, and that's basically it. I'm not sure how many of you guys have seen last season, or is it the season prior's anime, Akudama Drive? There is a doctor character in there. You can consider Faust as sort of similar to that, where, he basically has... I guess it's kind of debatable whether he has superhuman healing abilities, but at the very least, he definitely has superhuman survivability, alright? And again, these things, they completely don't explain, which I guess is also keeping in line with the kid-friendly theme, where they don't really want to mention that, they don't really want to show him, tearing ligaments and breaking bones and so on and so forth, and they also don't want to introduce the concept of drugging yourself to the point where you feel nothing, right? So you with descriptions such as these, you can kind of get the sense where there is a big tone difference between the manga and the anime here, where the manga goes a lot more darker there, and that's why even in the original, the story notwithstanding, I've always vastly preferred the manga just because it had these more darker undertones to it. But oh well, I guess it is what it is. Beyond that, though, the entire pacing of this particular episode, I do kind of have an issue with. This is also the episode where Yo really, he really starts standing out and knowing what he's fighting for, right? Like that little back and forth, that dialogue between him and Amidamaru at the very end there. That's quite important, right? But the thing is, in order for readers or viewers to actually feel something for that scene, to actually care about the characters and whatnot, you need to build up to it, right? And honestly, I feel like the entire flow of the battle and the events in this episode was really just way too condensed. And so we don't get this huge struggle, right? We don't get this really dark situation and whatnot. We don't really feel the sense of impending doom and the miraculous turnaround that Yo has, and so that and only for his efforts to still fall in vain because he's still lost, right? So all of that really, it needs to be something that you build up to. It's not something that you just directly say. You guys get what I mean? And so I definitely feel like, particularly for this episode, the cutting of and condensing of a lot of stuff definitely is to the detriment of Yo's character development here. Now, granted, even in the original manga, I did have my misgivings towards the entire structure of the story as well. Like I said, the entire time that Yo was talking with Amidamaru, right, quite a touching scene. Even when I was reading the manga, I was like, well, what about Faust, right? Because I do believe this is also what happens within the manga as well. They were so caught up in talking to each other, and Faust is basically just off doing his own thing. I guess, if we really want to find an excuse for it, maybe he's mourning over Elisa, his dead wife. He's trying to gather all the bones of hers and piece her back together, or something of that sort, right? But if so, then even back in the manga, I would have preferred if they kind of showed like Foss's reaction and what he was doing during that time, before we actually got into this entire dialogue. But the rest, of course, is absolutely the same. You know, he attacks Yo. Silva and Anna aren't quite on time in time. Although, to be honest, I think that's more for story purposes than anything. Both Silva and Anna, well, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but they would definitely be able to handle it. And we get the reintroduction of Rin, right? Who apparently has a power-up, and it has a sweep right now. Which, I guess in the next, I don't know if they're going to display that part in the next episode. Actually, before we get Rin with his horse and whatnot, we go through a bit more in regards to the Tao family and so on and so forth. Actually, now that I think about it, we most probably will be seeing those scenes in the next episode. Oh, no, wait, actually, hold on. This is the episode where Manta got hurt. So... Yeah, okay, sorry, my bad. Next episode should not be the showdown with Rin. We still got another important arc to go through first, and some more other characters to go through first before we get into that. So, my bad. We'll probably go through that first, and then, sometime in the midst of it, we will get introduced to the Tao family, and, you know, what happened to Tao Rin, and Tao Jun, and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's just something to look forward to in the next episode. So, and that is basically it, right? Let me know what you guys think. I feel like, you know, regardless of whether you know of this series or not, whether you're a fan of this series or not, I think we should all pretty much feel that this episode definitely has some pacing issues, have some structural issues. What can I say, right? Just move on and, you know, continue on to the good stuff. So, thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time.